Hello everyone, my name is Dosblop, and today I'll be reviewing the last two Minecraft updates, the Garden Awakens drop and the Spring to Life drop. Since mid-2024, Mojang has been doing the smaller game drops instead of major updates so they can update the game more, this making it 4 game drops per year instead of 1 update per year. So yes, this episode is actually a double review. I'll be reviewing the Garden Awakens drop first, and then lastly I'll be reviewing the Spring to Life drop. Both will receive their own rating. Anyways, without further ado, let's begin. The Garden Awakens drop is the first game drop to be announced at a Minecraft live show, and was released in December of 2024. It was a little bit spooky, containing the new creaking, as well as a new dark oak forest biome variant called the Pale Gardens, a new wood type called Pale Oak, and a new extra block type called Resin. For everything this drop added, that was it. Ignoring the fact that it's a pretty small content update, let's take a look at what we get inside. The creaking is a new mob that spawns from a block called the Creaking Heart. It only spawns at night as long as the Creaking Heart block is surrounded by more than 4 Pale Oak log blocks. It has no new drop, however it can be used to farm resin, and it deals a large amount of damage to the player. It will only attack when the player is not looking at it, making it almost an anti-Enderman. Dealing with this mob is easy, just break the Creaking Heart or hit it with an axe once and it will go away. Once again, let me iterate that there is no new drop from the creaking, so let's talk about resin. Resin includes a whole new set of blocks that is completely decorational. So in other words, resin is only useful if you want a bright orange color for building. Do you get what I'm trying to say here? The creaking is a very similar case to the Warden. They both drop practically nothing, but at least the Warden has its loot from the ancient city structure, but that structure offers nothing significantly new and useful. You are able to craft Disc 5 and an Echo Compass from the ancient city, as well as get the Swift Sneak enchantment. Those are the only new things from that structure. A cosmetic music disc, a compass that absolutely no one uses, and an enchantment that makes crouch walking faster. These are all cosmetic items. However, as opposed to the Warden, there is no brand new loot structure for the creaking. You just get the new biome and the mob. The new blocks are cool, yes. The Pale Wood set and the resin blocks are cool additions, especially Pale Wood being a nice contrast to use with blocks such as basalt. However, there are no necessary uses to these blocks. The biome itself feels very incomplete. Something that was highly requested and still is requested was for the biome to have gray fog added to it, something which would greatly enhance the atmosphere of the biome. Alongside that, the biome is way too rare for what it rewards, and it feels like since the drop released, dark oak forests in general are way harder to find than they should be. And the biome feeling incomplete is not the general sense I get from this drop. Matter of fact, the Garden Awakens drop feels incomplete. Recent Minecraft updates since the Caves and Cliffs Part 1 and 2 have had this feeling of being unfinished. We saw it with the Wild update, and how they miscommunicated pretty much everything in that update besides the Deep Dark. The Trails and Tales update, adding in archaeology, which is still half-baked even in the latest update, because it majorly lacks anything that makes it engaging to interact with. You basically get the sniffer egg and the music disc, and you're done. There's nothing else you need from it unless you want some cosmetics for your armor. My point here is that this game drop is way too small. Its new features add practically nothing to the game and acts as more wasted development resources instead of using them on updates that could actually be game-changing. That's all my thoughts on the Garden Awakens drops. Now hear me out. The Spring to Life drop is small for sure, but is actually meaningful for the game moving forward and takes a step at addressing past player feedback. This update adds in a texture variance for the pig, cow, and chicken, bushes, firefly bushes, cactus flowers, leaf litter, falling leaf particles, dry grass, wildflowers, chicken egg variants, new ambience sounds for the deserts, and for Java players we finally get a parody feature from Bedrock, fallen trees. So now you're gonna ask me, didn't you just go on a brigade with the Garden Awakens like a couple minutes ago? My answer is yes, But this drop in a hole is an ambience update that improves certain visuals of the game. Pigs, cows, and chickens no longer look the same no matter what biome they're in, and those new variants come with improved models that make their respective biomes feel way more visually alive. Fireflies are finally added in the form of firefly bushes, so while they aren't their own mob, they can be taken and placed anywhere you like, causing a flurry of fireflies to spawn at night that looks pretty nice. Trees now have falling leaves and spawn in with leaf litter. No longer do you have to use that one falling leaves mod, and also this adds a nice visual flair to forests and your crowded towns. Ever since the Wild update, I have dreamed about improved biome visuals in the game and more natural decoration. This drop is a quarter-way meetup with that dream, and what they added has proved to be visually pleasing at least. The only features that I do not care about in this update are the new bush plant and the new technical blocks. Considering the bush barely fares away from the look of regular grass, it doesn't add much but a little splosh of green to fields. There definitely isn't much to talk about for this drop either, and there certainly isn't anything useful with these features. But what it adds turns out to be a nice little drop. There's even just a little bit of purpose for this game. It's decent. That's it for my thoughts on it. All in all, that's basically all I have to say about both of these game drops. The Garden Awakens has some cool new block sets, but overall adds nothing exciting to the game. The Spring to Life drops includes some nice visual enhancements, but nothing more. Maybe the low output means Mojang is working on something much larger, but who knows. They just started putting out these game drops last year, so maybe they just need some more time. The Garden Awakens drop gets 40% on the Smokey scale, and the Spring to Life drop gets 30% on the Smokey scale. Anyways, that's about it. See ya.